Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to share with you the information that's been coming in for the rest of October. My name is Amanda, and if I haven't met you before, then I am the Oracle of 12. I channel guidance from my galactic team, as well as the Councils of Light, the Council of 12, and my higher oversoul expression as Amiria. So we are going to discuss what's coming up for the rest of October. I'm pretty sure that, judging by what I've been witnessing and experiencing around me and also in my client base, we have kind of all hit a wall energetically. And there is a quiet time now for the next several weeks as we integrate. So we're going to talk a little bit about what we're completing, and then we'll move into what we're tuning into. So it's the middle of October. We're in the fall season. And one of the biggest themes that we are moving through is karmic purges and closing timelines. We had the 1010 gateway. And with that, it triggered this huge, massive timeline purification or split. It's moving into completely two different streams of consciousness. And with that, you have been asked to get really still, get really focused, be very quiet within your own energy structure, and choose which timeline you are going to ride out. So the next several weeks are really, really critical to deciding once and for all which of these timelines you want to connect with. Many people have been sick over the last several weeks, and that's because the body intelligence is putting you in a place to release old toxins, to release those things that are connected to your third dimensional reality, third dimension expression of self, so that you can move more fully and fluidly into these new frequencies and energies that are coming in right now. There has been a lot of solar activity. We've been having solar, not only solar flares, but solar winds. There has been like a huge uptick in aurora borealis anomalies, with like pink included now in the colors of the aurora borealis. I think it was in January when I was doing the annual review for what to expect for the year. It came up, or maybe it was March. I think it was March. One of the teams I was working with, the light team's galactic team, was talking about a change in the aurora borealis, and that we would know we were moving into a different stream of consciousness, into a different timeline, when the colors of the aurora borealis begin to shift. Well, that's happening, and it's happening because of all of the solar activity that's coming in, and that solar activity speaks to our 12-strand DNA, connects through our energetic system, through the field, through the universal field, and it upgrades. It helps our body intelligence to connect to our divine intelligence. So we're going through this big purge, right? So many people have been really sick, and that's because they're releasing so much so that they can make space to bring in more of their higher oversoul stream. And, you have to get rid of the old to bring in the new. So it's also the death of the old self, right? You're letting go of everything. You're being unplugged by your galactic team from outdated karmic loops, false identities, and even soul contracts that no longer resonate with you. So there's a lot of endings from old relationships. Maybe you've been out of the relationship for a while, but you've still been plugged into it somehow, energetically or even physically. Maybe they're still a part of your life. They're just not completely separate from you. And so that continues to trigger the emotions within you, whether you know it or not, because maybe it's subconscious, but it continues to create the same reality around you. So all of those things are being cut away, cleared from you. And that's all for a reason. So another thing I've been getting that is a huge message that has been coming in from the higher councils, the Syrian light councils, from the golden robe councils, the councils of 33. And those are all connected to this higher soul integration. And with this higher soul integration, not only is it you streaming your higher oversoul and making space for it, as we were just discussing, so that you can bring in more of your higher frequency, your higher intelligence of you, your divine self. But in addition to that, there are some people who are no longer interested in participating in this earth school. So there's people that are going to be exiting earth quickly, rapidly. So maybe people that are dying, that die without a reason, just very quickly, very suddenly. There is people that are getting really sick suddenly, quickly, and then recovering. So what they're showing me is it is bringing in and making space for walk-ins. So this is like a higher stream of your oversoul that is moving in through you. So there's this higher consciousness that's coming in to bypass what you've been. If you're ready to leave and your soul contract is that you're leaving and there's space for it, then you're another expression of higher consciousness is coming in to kind of like tag take over and participate in this new age that we're moving into. I know that is a lot to digest, but that is what the higher councils of light are sharing with me. That's what we've been moving through, making space for. We've also been unveiling and bringing to light any false authority grids or false light programming. And so with that, maybe you've been feeling like you're seeing through the veils of this collective illusion. There's more information. We're entering the age of light, and light actually translates into information. It's packets of light being information that connects to your inner soul technology and starts to awaken you to something bigger than yourself. It's dissolving any of the spiritual hierarchies and these savior complexes. And people use this phrase a lot, but ascension bypassing. So anything that is taking place of your own sovereign soul's agreement for ascension is being moved out of the way, because in the Hall of Records, it's very clear that you must see the full truth so that you can make a decision and a choice about how you wish to proceed with your timeline, with what you want to experience and how you ascend and how you evolve by knowing the truth. And so right now, there is this huge illumination of everything that has been holding you in a freeze position or a hold position or keeping you from really stepping into your own authority and your own autonomy so that you can become more of your authentic self. And so there you will see a lot happening through social media and on the news. There's going to be a huge emphasis on churches or religious establishments, people that claim to be a leader of God or a speaker of the divine or holding space for your soul. Anything that is or wars or anything that is being projected into the field from a place of religious authority, that is melting away. And so there's going to be a lot of information and insight that is going to be coming up surrounding religious structures and organizations, hierarchies of command. And it's because you've been doing all of this work, the soul retrieval and reclaiming through all time and space and parallel realities, parts of you that have been fragmented throughout your time, and throughout all of your incarnations on Earth. And as you start reclaiming all those parts of you, it's then the second organic phase is that you then start breaking down any quantum entanglement to larger structures, organizations, groups, committees, large business, anything that you've been involved in through lifetimes that continues to stay with you throughout your lifetimes, these large groups, religious structures, that type of thing that follow you, those are now what you're releasing. And it's like releasing a huge anchor, because even though we do a lot of work on ourselves to release our own, to release things from us that no longer serve our path of ascension, that could also, that could be people that we're connected to and different types of relationships and our family dynamics, things that have followed us from generation to generation. And so now there's this huge emphasis on this generational, even some people will say curses, but generational curses could be the connection to these larger groups that continue and to persist throughout generational lineages. I hope that makes sense. But, for instance, if you've been raised a certain religious denomination, and your family that's been in your family for eons, and you raise your children in that's something that's a generational religious structure, just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So if there is any element of control and manipulation around that or any specific structure, it's being outed. You're going to be seeing a lot show up about that. Okay, so what else are we probably still moving through? One of the last things here, the womb and the heart. These two are connected. So the heart being many times the ancestral grief and all of those heartbreak timelines and different timelines and realities, but also past lives, and through your generational trauma of any continued heartache, loss, regret from the heart space that has been passed on in your holy womb chakra, or the womb space, because that's where it's recorded, is being cleared. These two things are integrating in a different way. These two energetic portals that connect to your galactic divine feminine aspect. And that's because the 1010 gateway, 1010 portal that we just went through, is all about the eon spiral, or the magnetic divine feminine aspect of you. It's the womb of all creation, the mother aspect of Mother, Father, God. So what we're doing is we're clearing away cellularly and at a physiological level, cellular level, we are releasing all of that grief. And so you may be having like lung congestion, coughing. You could have reproductive imprints. So maybe it's dictated your cycles, like maybe you've had endometriosis or had a hard time getting pregnant, this sort of thing. And also all the heartbreak timelines that keep the walls up from us receiving or giving love, or receiving or giving prosperity, or any type of value that equals your sense of love and compassion for yourself, right? So all of those things are being cleansed and cleared. So you could be re-experiencing heartache. You could be letting go of things that have been really hard for you to process or release, like past relationships or past hurts and wounding timelines. It could be from when you were a child. Maybe things happened when you were a child that have followed you through your life, and those things have been cycles in your family. So all of those things are shifting, and they are realigning to hold the creation frequencies for the new earth, the new children that are being born and conceived, and the Christed blueprints. So the womb and the heart are going to connect to more of your divine feminine aspect through the heart portal into the womb of creation, which is the 10th gateway or the 10th chakra. And so that you're carrying those creation codes within your blueprint. So then what you begin to create all aligns to these higher levels of consciousness, or bandwidths of consciousness, because everything is a scale, right? We're a scale of truth, and everybody has their own truth on that scale. So that's what we've been moving through. It's been really intense. A lot of my clients have been experiencing really heightened emotions, a lot of physical symptoms, as I was saying, feeling sick, the flu, being put in a place of rest, especially if you're somebody who can't slow yourself down. There is new resources coming to you for how to take care of yourself, how to feel better, like new ideas about which supplements to take, which kind of healthcare providers to see. Maybe you're moving more towards alternative healthcare, or towards homeopathic, or working with plant medicine, whatever it may be. It's more organic, it feels. You could be doing massive detoxing and clearing in your body. You may be called to be doing a juice cleanse. And all of this has been happening, and probably and most likely will continue to happen. I'm saying that I'm timing this for now through the end of October, but really many of us could be experiencing any of what I'm discussing right now all the way through the end of the year. The winter solstice is our mark for the completion of this particular cycle, when we move into our new positions as thought leaders, light leaders, self leaders, working with our own energetic stream of truth, and how we want to express that into the universal field, into the world, how we're going to create our reality. And all of that is what we are finalizing and determining through our own oversoul stream, through our own higher intelligence, and under the direction and guidance, by the way, of your soul team, your light team, and galactic higher beings of light that are all here for support. So as we continue moving forward, let's kind of tune into where we're going. What can we expect to start integrating now, and then through October, and maybe on through the winter solstice? But the biggest thing is, again, we just went through the Eon spiral, the 10th gateway, and this is the integration of the diamond self. This is a part of my healing system. The names, you can even you can transplant, or you can replace that word with divine self, your Christ self, your oversoul, your higher self, whatever feels comfortable and right for you. Only you know that. But to me, it's the diamond self, because the diamond represents all of the fractals of light, of truth to you. So when you unify all of your polarities, all of your timelines and realities that are playing out simultaneously to where you are right now, when you collapse them in the gateway, you're creating this diamond self, right? So you're returning all those fractals to you. And all that will do is strengthen your column of light, your connection to source and to earth, into the center of earth. So in this integration, that's going to continue for the 10th gateway, which is your divine feminine aspect, through the end of the month. And because of that, you might start remembering your true timeline, And you can, this is your timeline of truth, right? So what feels that you are in your highest expression of self and everything is in divine flow. In that space, you're going to start connecting into this higher stream of consciousness that is coming in through your higher chakra system from the Hall of Records, which is connected to your story, your book of life. And you may be connecting into creation codes. You may start hearing music or sound or frequency, different tones. You may start hearing whisperings from your oversoul, your higher self, opening the lines of telepathic communication. You could start receiving a download about your divine name, not aspects of you that you've played in different past lifetimes or other expressions of self, but your divine name. And it may not sound like English language or whatever language you speak. It may sound like a collection of syllables or frequency sounds. It may sound more like light language if you've ever heard that. So when you start hearing those kinds of things, kind of get quiet and pay attention to what that might be. Drop into your heart space and ask for clarity. The other things that we're going to start experiencing now and through the end of the month is this whole light body resurrection arc. And it's already started. And that is this awakening of your rainbow light body, the light body, or your next level light body, because everybody's stage of ascension is different. And so it's this new light body that's coming online, connected at the meridian spin points through your energetic system. That's going to be coming online, and you're going to start really connecting to that at the 1111 portal and all the way into the winter solstice. But this is the embodiment phase of your higher oversoul, the stream of consciousness that is the most connected to your highest level of divine self. And this is going to be different phases for everyone, right? But the 1111 is connected to the breath of God, or the breath of spirit. That's the creative, the spark of the divine. That is, what else? Maybe you could call it the Holy Spirit, or it is the elementals. It is what creates the matter that we are, is through this antimatter. Everything has this polarity exchange within it. So it is like the magic sauce. Okay. So that's the 1111. And it's also connected very much to our light body, anything to do with light. And that's the elementals that are creating that for us, right? It's a plasmic light. So this embodiment phase has different layers and different expressions within it. So one of the things that maybe you've heard about is this the 3 days of darkness. There's some people that are talking about this prophetic, biblical, in the is it Armageddon timelines or whatever. And it may not, it's not as literal. I mean, it could be for some people, but we're in this preparation phase, and some people have already started that. 3 days of darkness. Let's kind of like unpack that for a second. It is a period of stillness. It's sacred, and it's symbolic and literal in a lot of different energetic terms. So let's unpack it. This it requires to expand your level of acceptance and resistance and surrender. You're required to fortify your energy field. And that's what this 3 days of darkness is. Your energy field needs to be strengthened, and you need really deep rest, restorative rest. And through that process, it will allow you to embody your temple with more of your oversoul stream, your higher self, or your God self, your divine self. And it is then walking in your light, in your truth. The corpus calostrum, that is basically like a cradle. It sits in the middle. It's your midline. It holds the two hemispheres of your brain, your left and your right brain. There is a dissolving of the left and the right corpus calostrum. And it's because this is separating your masculine and feminine, your earth and your celestial. And so as these two versions of you are merging together in your divine marriage, it is releasing that bridge, the corpus calostrum separation, so that you can have one unified brain, right? This connects you into your mind of God and to your oversoul intelligence, your higher divine intelligence. To me, the corpus calostrum actually represents the veil of non-remembrance. And when this veil begins to fade, this could be where it's either esoteric or literal. These two parts of your brain begin to communicate more deeply, more embedded, and that allows for a higher insight and perspective than anything that you could gain with these two separate hemispheres not linked together. So that's a big one. And I may do a separate video just about that, because I've actually been getting a ton of downloads surrounding the 3 days of darkness and how, you know, Revelations, it's in Revelations, but to me, it can be both, but it's an individual resurrection. I believe that, you know, this is just my personal thought. I believe that the resurrection information is on a case-by-case, person-by-person basis of what you're going through as you resurrect your own inner divinity. So moving on, the other things that we're going to be expecting as we move forward is this reseating the throne of light. If you're in a space where you've been doing all of the integration work to bring yourself into your full balance of all polarities, bringing it all into your internal and inner column of light, it's going to be a little different. You've completed the inner spiral of completion, the inner spiral of truth for you, for your oversoul, which allows you to be enthroned within your physical body of your higher oversoul consciousness. And if this is occurring for you, you may start to carry yourself differently. Your movements actually will be carrying your own divine essence, your codes of divinity, and people will be attracted to you. You will be moving with grace, right? And so all of the souls that see you will feel and experience the truth of you as your higher oversoul. You're going to become more of this transmitter of Christed energy, the Christ consciousness. And even your voice may sound different. That's because the fifth chakra is connected to the fifth density and the bandwidth of dimensional consciousness that chakra carries. And so your voice is actually your spiritual fingerprint, because it's vibration. It carries this vibrational truth of you, which is amazing. It's quite lovely. So this is no small thing, right? This is a lot of information. It's a big time we're moving through. So expect big feelings and big energies to process as we continue to evolve into this higher aspect of ourselves. So, you know, here's some tips. Okay, here's some tips on how to kind of move through this window of time. So let's see, what are they going to say here? Okay, all right. So they're saying to choose your timeline daily, even minute by minute, hour by hour, because quantumly, you're continuing to embody different versions of your quantum self as you break down and integrate all of these old timelines and realities that are out there running simultaneous to you in this now moment that you're embodied. So as you continue to bring all those parts of you back home to your inner light, at a quantum level, you're constantly changing because you're expressing that version of you as it moves through you. So rather than getting lost in the emotions of how you're feeling at a particular moment as you get sucked into some kind of vortex, it's just keep choosing your higher timeline. I choose my highest timeline today and always. I choose my highest path towards the light. I choose the highest expression of myself, however you want to phrase it. And whenever you start feeling off balance, just choose a higher divine pathway.